feel like Diamond Alexis.
Period. Because that's who you are.
Hey y'all, so let's get straight into the video. First, I'm pushing my hair back so that I can have a fresh canvas with nothing in the way. I did try to straighten my hair. It's not giving silk press, it's giving I did what I could, okay? So first we're gonna go in with the skin prep and it's gonna be Noxzema. These are the anti-blemish face pads. I really just use these to make sure that I don't have any oil or anything on my face before I start my primer. For primer, it's going to be the One Size the New mattifying primer. Y'all, a little goes a long way with this, and it's also really good. I feel like it's better with the setting spray as like a double double to make sure that you're not getting oily. But for my eyebrows, I use the new, these are new products, but I use the ABH brow freeze, and I see why y'all like it. It is so good. Like, I would definitely use it again. I would suggest pressing it more than brushing it though, because when you brush it, it activates the product and unravels your brow unless you're doing a pressing motion with the brush. But the pressing and drying with the opposite side is like the best for me. Like, I really do like it. You got to really work it in. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so I pretty much just do that until it looks the way I want it to look. And then that's when we put the product on. But yeah, just make sure it's dry as well. So for the eyebrow, I'm using the brow pomade from M.A.C in the shade, no, this is the ABH in dark brown. I'm sorry. I thought I used M.A.C this day. You really don't even have to use a lot because of how good it feathers your brows out. I did want my brows to be a little bit big since I did shape them upwards instead of like downwards, and then I just brushed the front out with a spoolie, and that brush is from Morphe. It's an eyebrow brush and a spoolie at the end. For my concealer, I'm using Dose of Colors in the shade Dark 23 to carve out my eyebrows. And that brush is from Beats by Deb Cosmetics. It's a concealer brush. And I'm blending it out and also blending out the front so it can give me that ombre. I'm using P. Louise's base to start me off for my eyeshadow, and I use the same brush that I used for my concealer to blend it out. And you don't need a lot of this either. This is the blank one. I think this is shade 2. So it has a little bit of tone in it versus a completely white base. You see how well it blends out with the concealer? And you want it to be kind of tacky. Like, it's dry, but it's sticky dry, not wet. This is the eyeshadow palette from Juvia's Place, the News palette. And I'm using a tan shade in that palette. And this is going to be my transition shade. And then I forgot, I did take it along the edge as well. So I just avoid everything but the front of my eyes on both eyelids. I'm doing a tapping motion first to let it set, the cream, and then later on you'll see me sweeping it. And it's very buildable, so I'll take my time. I'll add some, then look at it, then add some, then look at it. But I just make sure that I pat the product on first. You never want to sweep or do windshield wiper motions on a wet base. Even though it's tacky, it's still considered wet because you have to set creams with powders, and that powder is going to be the eyeshadow. Do you see how buildable that is? Y'all see that? Then after that, then I start sweeping. Same thing with the other side. For my eyeshadow, I'm using the M.A.C pigment in the shade Melon, and this is going to be on the front to give me that type of shimmer look. Look at that, y'all. It is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's the perfect shimmery melon type of look. Like if I was to name an eyeshadow melon, that would be the perfect pigment for it. It has like a peachy type of silvery goldish type of look. But now I'm using the Juvia's Place palette, the chocolates, and I'm taking a deep chocolate shade, and I'm basically just making sure that the colors mesh together and toning, like adding some deepness into the eyeshadow, to the brown part of the eyeshadow. I'm taking the same brush to basically make sure those shades are meshing together and looking seamless. I don't want any harsh lines. For eyeliner, I'm using the M.A.C eyeliner pen in the shade black, and it helps make it so easy to do the eyeliner. So if you're a person that isn't really good at eyeliner, I suggest getting a pen like this, or if not, getting this exact pen, because it just is perfect and it gives off the perfect amount of black, and it is pointy. It's just perfect. I go ahead and I brush that out, like I make it look blend into the brown shade by using a black and brown eyeshadow. So now I'm using the Fenty foundation in the shade 425, and I'm using an e.l.f. foundation brush to blend this out. For concealer, Fenty in the shade 350. Y'all, I learned my lesson, y'all. Fenty's concealer is so pigmented. A little goes a long way. I remember in an earlier video that I posted, I forgot how pigmented it was, and I used too much, and I definitely paid for it. But I still was able to blend everything out, so it was okay. And to get into those tighter, smaller places, I like to use a eyeshadow brush. That's a Morphe one, and it pretty much just helps me make sure that I keep the product in one place on my nose. That brush was pretty big, so I used it for almost everything on my face as far as blending out concealer. Look at that, so cute. Now for bronzer, I'm using the ABH in the shade Cappuccino to bronze me up, and that is a Real Techniques angled brush. So pretty. I love their brushes. For powder, I'm using One Size and Ben Nye, and these are both translucent powders. So if you just search translucent next to the brand's name, you will find the ones that I am using. For blush, I'm using the Juvia's Place The Warriors palette in the shade Pink. They really don't have names. I just call it by its color. For mascara, the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes in shade Black. And for lashes, it's Lust Trap Cosmetics. I use the NYX eyeliner in Black Bean. And I'm using the Sephora lip liner in the shade Molasses to line my lips. I had to put that highlighter on, y'all, from Beats by Deb in the shade Ice Me Out. Look at me looking iced out. And y'all, I was really feeling myself on this part. So for lip gloss, I'm using the shade Boy Bait and Oyster Girl. I go in with Boy Bait first and then Oyster Girl last. Oyster Girl is my topper because it gives me that pink and bluish nudie, pinkish nudie reflexing glow. And then this was the final look. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you have any of these products and any products that I should try. Thank you for tuning into my video, and I will see y'all in the next one. We on the road to 800 subscribers, y'all. We almost there. See y'all in the next video.